to some good lasagna.
Hi, welcome back to Vegan Victories. Today, I will be making vegan lasagna. Here's the things you need. You need lasagna and ground meat, either like this kind or this kind. But today I'll be showing you how to do this kind. And also you will need Italian sausage and tofu and cheese, but shredded cheese, and onion and tomato sauce, olive oil, and spices of your choice, and of course oregano. So you will first need to boil your water, here like this. See how the water's boiling? Okay, and you'll need a big pot. So you've got to put your lasagna in like this. See how I'm kind of doing it? I like to do it this way, and this way they're not really all on top of each other that much. It's always good to put a little extra because sometimes they break. And lower your water a little bit too. It needs to be on a timer for about 15 to 20 minutes, depends on how high you have your burner on. Is making this tofu into ricotta. Okay. Now let's move over here, and your tofu should look like that. Two things you can use to smash it: a normal fork or one of these. I like using this. It already looks like ricotta cheese. Don't forget, you do have to stir this, because if you don't, it's gonna be ruined. Now it's time to add some flavor to your ricotta cheese. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna put some whole oregano in. Okay. But if you don't want oregano, you could put parsley, but I'm not gonna do that. But you can. Or basil too. This is garlic salt. But you can put garlic powder if you want. But I prefer this. And then also, I like to put just a little tiny dash of chili powder, but you don't have to. And also, I'm gonna put a little bit of cumin and turmeric. But then again, you don't have to if you don't have it or just don't want it. But I think it adds great flavor, and it's good for you too. So just mix this all around. I'll use red wine vinegar, just a little bit. And don't forget olive oil, just about a teaspoon. And mix it. Okay, now we're gonna work on the meats. I have these two different kinds of meats. One is the veggie sausage, but it's just like a ground beef mixture once you take it out of the pack. But if you don't have this, then I'd say get this. But this one has just a little bit of cooking that you have to do on the side. But I'm gonna show you how to do this one, okay? These metal things on the sides, now you definitely want to chop them off, okay? Just like this. And then do the other side too. But be careful of your fingers. The lasagna is done, so now what we need to do is get our strainers and put them in our sinks and get our lasagnas and dump them in our strainers, because it's very important that cooked proper. Overcooked is not good. It's better to be undercooked. Al dente is best. And now we pour back in our pots. Get all the water, pour it in your pot. Now back in your strainer. Back in your strainer. Back in your pot again. Back in your pot. It's really hard getting out all the water. Really hard. And especially since my strainer is really small. So it makes it even harder to do the job that it needs to get done. And just keep doing this. Oh. Turns out that this that we're going to use didn't really come to the consistency that we wanted, and we have to fry it up in there. But I'm also gonna show you guys how to cook this too. This one, see? And this will definitely be the consistency that we want. But we'll just see how they turn out. Because right now, it's not good. So we're gonna fry this up. So turn on your burner to in between low and medium to fry, and kind of make these little balls. Or you could just put it all in at once and then chop it up, because you don't want it like a giant patty, because that's what you don't want. You want it like ground beef or something, or sloppy joes. And once you get that all in there, just get your spatula and do this, because you do want it to get brown. And now just let this cook until it gets brown, and then try to get the other sides flipped over so they can get brown too. Now, as I was frying up this mix, this one, I taste tested it, and it tasted really good, but not the kind of good for the lasagna. So we're gonna do the sloppy joe mix. But well, see, it's fantastic. Now they have other flavors. They have the taco mix. If the store that you're shopping at doesn't have sloppy joe, then go ahead and get the taco mix. But it has that southwestern flavor if you don't mind that in your lasagna. I'm going to show you how to make this now. Now, well, you should take this out, and it should look like this. Okay, and you'll need a cup of water, just any kind of water. Let's pour our sloppy joe mix and water into our frying pan / pot. Turn your flame on to about low, or in between low and medium. Now, I put this in here with just the water so far. But it says here to put the tomato sauce or tomato paste in, but that's to make it more sloppy joe mix. But right now, I didn't put the tomato sauce and tomato paste in, and it's like ground beef. So you can do the tomato sauce or paste if you want, but it's gonna make it more sloppy joe. So I'm not gonna do that. Let's get our sauce can. And remember always to rinse it on the top a little bit, because you know it might be a little dirty here. Let's get our can opener. It uses a lot of sauce, more than you would think. Now, if you didn't buy something like this kind of sauce, if you didn't buy that, I can show you how to make it taste just like that, or even better. Get your tomato sauce that has no seasoning in it and pour some of that in. I already have leftover sauce, so I'm going to mix it with that. But if you don't have that, that's okay. Now I'd say pour about all of your can in. We're probably going to use that all. Get our onion. You can use red or white or yellow. And then just cut out very small and thin. We're not going to use a lot, just like about that much. Very little for the sauce, because I don't like onions that much, but you guys can put however much you want. But I'm just going to show you how much I do. Now, see our onions here? Let's scoop them in. Okay. Now let's add some olive oil. Just about your spoonful, probably like a tablespoon. And then do one more, and then mix that around. And then add a little chili pepper if you want. I may have added a little too much, but and add your oregano. garlic salt, but you can put garlic powder in it and then just add salt separately. But it's best with always like the fresh oregano, or you could even put parsley in if you want, or basil. But I'd say the freshest is the best. But that's okay if you don't have it though, because I don't have it. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of it. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I like vinegar. And it gives a kick. Okay. Now just mix this around. And that is your sauce. Now let's get our sausage. See? I think this brand's really good, but it's okay if you don't have that. It's best with the Italian sausage because you definitely don't want to get the breakfast sausage. So let's open it. Now take out. You might need more than 2. First, cut it into half like this. And then like this. Now we're gonna move over to our lasagna. You know what you should have, or what you should have already, is something you can cook the lasagna in over here. See? We're gonna get our lasagna. Going like this until you get to the end. Now, let's get back to our ricotta cheese. We're going to do our first layer. It should look like this, or something like this. Now you should have mixed this around to make sure that all the liquids that was in it are just mixed around. Okay. Do it spoon by spoon. Try to make sure it's covered evenly. Now spread it out. Now before I do our next layer of the pasta, we gotta put our sauce on, because if you don't, then it'll be dry. And every layer must have the sauce. So don't put too much on, but, well, whatever amount you want. And just keep going till you finish. And it should look like this. Now let's get another layer. It's okay if some of them are broken, like see how mine's broken there a little bit? Just like that. And see? And now we're on our another layer. You may not have enough, but that's okay. Just make sure it's spread out. And just keep going like this. Now let's do our sauce, but for the meat. You don't need too much for the meat though. Do not just pour it on. See, it should look like this, and it's done. Now let's get our lasagna. And this will be the second to last layer. As you're getting down to the bottom, there will be some scraps like this, but it's okay to use them. It's okay. Alright. Now, we are going to do our cheese layer. Now we're going to do our cheese and sausage. Let's get our cheese and sprinkle it on. Put the sausage on. Now go ahead and put a little more cheese on. Now save just a little bit in your bag. Just a little bit, like about a handful. Now we're doing our next layer. So this is the final and last layer. Oops, I forgot we need to do the tomato sauce. Try to make it more even on the stove though. Well, mine's not too even though. Alright, well that's good enough. Now we'll do our next layer. But it's the final layer. And yours should look like that. Top it with the red sauce and the cheese. I don't have enough, but I do have another can. And if you don't have enough, then definitely get another can. Now go ahead and add your oregano. And now get your cheese on. And we are ready for the oven. Let's put in. And also set your timer for 40 minutes. It's been in here for 45 minutes. Now it's time to pull it out. Voila, c'est très joli. Ah!
This is some good lasagna. I could really go for some Savagnon. Cheers.